Level 80, the cafe at the end of the universe. Last Dreg's managers jamming away, and N7000 have much to tell you. Welcome to the Last Dregs. At long last, we're open for business, and that's not all. This unit recommends you allow the squeaky life form to elaborate. Please be advised that this recommendation does not extend to other conversations. For one thing, we've cleaned the place up since your last visit. That counter is clean enough to eat off of. We've also recruited additional Omicrons to our cause. They have absolutely naught better to do and are thus stationed here at all hours. Their lack of customer service experience may prove an issue, however, so I think it best that our first patrons be similar to the people of Aetheris. You lot have been awfully understanding of our slip-ups with the moon. To fulfill that objective, this unit has taken the liberty of ordering the replication of passively intelligent life forms based on data recovered from the dead ends. These life forms now exist as tangible simulations, much like this unit itself, allowing them to enjoy cafe services. If you orient your ocular orbs to my right, you will find Patron 001 and Patron 002 of the Corellian people. Prepare to die, traitor. I shall now obliterate your hideous helm and your belligerent brain with it. Ideological alignment with the global community is the only way to restore peace, that and the utter annihilation of our enemies. You would say that, mongrel. You have long since ceased to see beyond the leash around your neck, or perhaps it's that tasteless headwear that's cutting off oxygen to your brain. You and your masters know naught of righteousness. The peace you offer is but apathy, self-determination subjugated to the pull of the yoke. Pray that you at last know freedom in death. A Halo reference. As you can see, it's not going well as we had hoped. The data indicates that while the Corellians prospered materially under the global community, the anti-establishment freedom fighters fought back against its oppressive social conditions, leading to total annihilation of both civilization and star. Excuse me, it seems like both of you want the same thing, to put an end to this conflict and live happily ever after. Also to murder each other, but that didn't turn out so well for you last time. How about you take a seat and talk this over? I suppose this will have to do for the time being. Or you see, I have something even more important to show you, with me. Can you see it? Here, at the end of the universe, a new star has been born. Furthermore, readings confirm that this unidentified star is composed of dynamis. With the Insinger gone, Ultima Thule should no longer be doomed to despair. Yet what kind of star, what civilization, could have arisen out of the dynamis of this place? I shudder to think. That is precisely why this unit recommends eliminating potential threats immediately. The looming specter of a hostile civilization is not conducive to carrying out current orders to live. If you learn nothing from the Corellians, we cannot simply go about annihilating everybody who looks at us askance. Besides, it would be a shame to waste any potential resources the star has to offer. It's not as if we're rolling in tea leaves out here. This unit finds the eminently killable life form's outlook to be intolerably naive. I'll show you eminently killable, you weird-looking fork. Anyway, I propose that with your help, we first investigate this newborn star. There will be plenty of time for annihilating later, should such measures be called for. If both eminently killable life forms insist, you may access the research portal from base Omicron. This unit will accompany you for your own safety. Travel quest accepted. Yeah, so to unlock this, you have to unlock Stigmascape first, which is the dungeon, so. Just keep that in mind. We should have a video for that. Beyond this portal, you will find a research area constructed for the purposes of collecting data on the new star. You may proceed with caution to the star from there. Color me impressed by Stigma 4, that is. It's the one that made all of this. Now, look sharp, Forky. Okay. Could have just flown here, I suppose. FTL travel initialized. Calibrating coordinates. I mean, I guess in future, if I have to take this a few times, it would be quicker to just take. Ultimate Thule is governed by sentiment. Does that mean this huge thing came straight from someone's heart? Initializing scan of planet's surface and core. Environmental scans inconsistent with data from previously recorded planets. No signs of civilization detected. This unit can only assume that the star is entirely new. Unlike anything seen before. Emergency alert from the last dregs. Beep boop boop beep bah. Thunk. Ahem. This unit will now transmit directly from Stigma 4. Emergency alert. Customers designated Patron 001 and Patron 002 resisting delivery of sustenance. Weapons have been drawn. Please advise. Resisting? What in the world did you serve them? As proposed by the flea-ridden manager, staff first attempted to provide patients with locally rendered carrots. These were rejected as not food. Cordona oil and Omicron grease were also rejected, despite databases indicating that these substances fulfill 95% of the criteria for designation as food. Words unsuitable for transmission also issued forth from patrons at this time. Torrent of verbal abuse activated by the Cordona Guardian's moderation filters, causing it to set weapon systems to purge. All remaining units have withdrawn behind available cover. Projections indicate 99.9783% chance of failure should further arbitration be attempted by current staff. Management support requested. I sort of expected this. After all, artificial carrots just aren't right. Where's the fresh, juicy crunch? Where's the slight aftertaste of dirt? Have you ever tried any other food? It may sound far-fetched, but perhaps they don't like carrots. I don't know why anyone would bother putting other things in their mouth when there are perfectly good carrots lying about, but very well, I suppose we'll need to concoct some sort of nutritious admixture. That indicates that cultivation prospects in Ultima Thule are abysmal. To manufacture ingredients would require a dedicated production plant. Given the fate of our aforementioned carrots, it simply will not do. But what of this new star? Could it not be used to cultivate the fresh culinary ingredients we need? I can see it now, our customers' contentment upon tasting the most delicious and nutritious cuisine they've ever had. The sight should delight me as much as 100 carrots of happiness, at least. The Dynamis makes it happen. Goodness me. Scanning soil. Acidity, moisture content, temperature within acceptable parameters. It's soft under my paws as if it's simply begging for cultivation. Indeed, analysis indicates that 56.2% of cultivars registered to database during prior conflicts with organic civilizations would be suited to this environment. This star grant my wish? I suppose given the nature of this place, it's not unreasonable to believe that residual energies from Meteon's nest could have coalesced into a new star, nor that said star would be as susceptible to emotion as the rest of the dynamis around here. This theory is excessively convenient, but the data does not contradict it. Your ability to insult me even when we're in agreement never ceases to amaze. Fortunately for you, I have better things to do than bicker with a bucket of bolts right now. No magics of creation, feel the craving deep within my soul and grant me endless carrots. There's no, like, ether there, right? Perhaps gluttony does not qualify as an emotion. Bugger, yet my hopes for the cafe do, apparently. Unlike my, however sincere visions of carrots, specifically that intangible hope for potential future took form as tillable earth, in which case perhaps the joy of as yet unrealized possibility is the key to success here. Thus shall we call it Elysion, a joyful land where our hopes may come to rest. Mythology at work here remains alien to this unit, but the overexcited organism's speculation has merit. Dynamis has been demonstrated to make the impossible possible. However, the data also shows that it lends itself as easily to ill as to good. If the beings of Ultima Thule succumb to despair once more, the consequences will be dire. This unit does not even need to run the calculations to be sure. Oh, boil my carrots, I forgot all about the customers. We must attend to them with all haste, lest they warp the nature of the star. See day for research. Oh, he's over there. Up or is it down? Up. Please, if you would just sit down for a nice calming cup of tea. As if I would fall for your ruse a second time. That food you served us made me long for the days of chewing a boot in the trenches. Deeply though it pains me, I must agree, that was the least palatable vegetable I have ever eaten, wartime or no. If I die, my blood is on your hands. Heavens, we can't have that. We wish only to satisfy our customers, to bring them joy so that they may never again fall to despair. What dishes would you bring you joy, if I might ask? Everything we typically eat, from beans to beef, is manufactured according to specifications that I could not begin to guess at, but I would take anything even approaching normal at this point, perhaps a salad to cleanse the palate of that horrid oil. As long as there are none of those genetically modified logs in it this time. See, 2 salads with completely organic ingredients, coming right up. How soon your paltry gray matter forgets. There is a dearth of produce in this corner of the universe. Even on the new star, seeds will require time to grow. Oh, but surely Zilly can do something about that. You are a botanist, are you not? Surely there must be some manner of edible flora around here, conspicuous though it may be. I dare say local ingredients are something of a conversation starter, so that could be the next step toward our patrons resolving their differences. Wouldn't that be lovely? You need only relax and wait. We'll serve you a delicious dinner yet. Reluctantly reviewing natural resource database. Promising nodes located. Onions growing in the Reatara area show acceptable nutrient composition. Database indicates they may also provide desired flavor to the impending salad. While you do that, we'll see if we can't scrounge up a few more ingredients from our stores. Though I still cannot imagine why one would prefer other foodstuffs to carrots, I must admit that I find this culinary experimentation rather invigorating. Where's Ria Terra? Oh, right here. Duh, looking right at it. I'm alien onion. How many do I need? 3? Oh, more than I need. I'm alien onion. Weeds a vegetable, correct? Return of allied life form Zilly is most welcome. This unit can only hope that the other organic life forms will now cease their whining. Quality and quantity of provided ingredients exceed expected parameters. Here's maybe I knew Zilly would go above and beyond. Now to put these greens to the test. Okay. Needless to say, I fear for my life, but now that you've gone to so much trouble, I suppose we should try it. Astoundingly robust spectrum of flavor and texture. I was unaware that food could possess such pleasant complexity. Mass-produced dishes pale in comparison. Watch your tongue. The global community solved world hunger through automation, you know? You lot would have scurvy thrice over without it. Still, I must admit that the flavor is unique. Though we replicated a wide variety of cultivars in our factories, just as many were consigned to history. I see now what a loss that was. There's an appeal to having the freedom to choose what you eat, and is there not? Though I recognize the validity of your world hunger argument. Perhaps there is room for both perspectives at this table. As this peculiar waiter observed, our haste to elevate one at the expense of others has not served us well in the past. Odd words to hear from a freedom fighter, but not wrong. That's the spirit. I'm certain you two have plenty in common if you're willing to hear each other out. In the meantime, why not help us with the gardening? Release some of that pent-up energy that has you shouting at each other all of the time. Think about it. It's honest, non-violent work, and the more you grow, the more new flavors you can experience. We have a patch of land and a new star that has your names on it. Well, your patron designations anyway. What do you say? I cannot claim that I'd be happier on the battlefield. I fought in the name of peace until there was naught left to fight, or to fight for. There has to be a better way, maybe in safeguarding life rather than taking it. I'll find out what that is. I hesitate to align my ethos with that of a global citizen, yet it is true that we now have the freedom to choose a better future. Very well, I shall put down my arms and travel a different path this time around. And it's a truce. Let us plant those vegetables. Ooh, I smell hope. It smells like carrots of happiness. If you were wondering, perhaps Elysian can smell it too. Inconclusive and 80% nonsensical. However, possibilities resulting from this unlikely alliance approach the infinite. I suppose that means we'll have to go and see for ourselves. Come along, patrons. Despite the small yet statistically significant chance of their being greeted by hostiles, a naive life form has sent Patron 001 and 002 ahead to Elysion. This unit suggests we make haste in confirming what effects, if any, their emotions have wrought on the star. The Corellians' heartfelt hopes for a peaceful future have taken form as resplendent gardens. Nevertheless, much of the newborn star remains as unto a blank canvas. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? It's going to be a lot like the fairy one from Shadowbringers. Huh? Different areas. Dynamis-based alterations to the local environment exceed all but the most improbable of projections. Data from prior civilizations indicates that organic customers will be pleased with the vegetation available for consumption. This unit proposes a temporary retreat to A4 research to discuss future salads and salad-adjacent matters. All management units are present. This unit will now run multiple cognitive simulations of the last drag's future. Level 80, the cafe at the end of the universe, complete. Analysis complete. Simulation suggests that further consultation with reconstructed life forms and changes to the nature of Elysion will both be beneficial in increasing future customer satisfaction. Overall, friendly interaction appears key to the success of the last drag's objectives, which are vital to the ongoing mission to live. In other words, if we continue to value our patrons, our cafe will become an ever greater source of joy. This unit would not make such fanciful projection, but nevertheless agrees with the general trajectory proposed. The ongoing assistance of allied life forms will also be invaluable. Will you continue to act as management unit? Count this unit in. I swear I'd never go back to retail. This unit is asking you nicely. Also, it is technically food service. Pretty please, I know that with your help a wonderful future awaits. Preparation for the next phase of operations, this unit proposes strategically repositioning Matrix Stigma 4 to this location that it may better assist in coordinating planetary and cafe objectives. Transmission of orders will commence at your signal. Retro thrusters on cooldown. Initiating matrix installation. Speaking of which, we have one more installation to attend to. Hold still in 7000. Perfect. Now I can tell which Omicron the insults will be coming from. It also signifies your role in this operation quite well, does it not? Crude yet effective. This unit will consent to wearing the large-eared lifeform's primitive accessory. Now, my loyal crew, to work. The possibilities are infinite, so there's much to be done. Travel quest complete. The Last Drags, tribal quest unlocked. Reputation has increased to friendly. You have achieved friendly reputation with the staff and patrons of the Last Drags. Omicron tribal quests are now available from Stigma 4 and A4 Research. Furthermore, you now have access to a wider selection of wares from Omicron N0598. Voice of a Distant Server 1. Unlocked. Level 80. Longing so for all the fish. N7000 is not emitting any strained whirring or beeping noises, so things must be going well at the last drags. This unit is pleased to inform you that culinary ingredient supply has stabilized and relations with reconstructed Corellians are rated as friendly. As conditions for proceeding with the next phase of operations are optimal, this unit has taken the liberty of ordering additional customers. Patron 003 and Patron 004 are being transported to the last drags even as we exchange communication signals. What sort of patrons has Stigma 4 reconstructed for us this time, I wonder? We may as well see it for ourselves. To the last dregs. Cafe has a pleasant ambiance about it these days, wouldn't you say? The Corellians aren't even shouting at each other. But where are our new customers? Patrons were seated according to Table with a View protocol and served in accordance with Salad protocol, which have produced a satisfaction rating of 124% among customers to date. Excellent work, unit. It is always better to speak with customers after they've been fed. These patrons are of the Grebulov race, known for its metallurgy. Records indicate that this civilization originated amidst the shining blue seas of its home planet, later adapting to life on its land masses. Thus, the Grebulov diet includes both fish and plant matter. Sob sniffle. Sigh. Oh dear, is the salad not to your liking? The organic life form's preferences confound this unit's logic circuits. Please provide additional data. Oh, I hope you won't take this personally. It's a perfectly lovely salad, only... Wow, I miss home so much. I see, the salad brings back painful memories. Could we get you something else, perhaps? All our friends are dead. Wow. Wow. Wait, how about a cup of tea? What are we going to do? We made our customers cry. Cry. We need to catch them before they can escape through the portal to another Ostrakhan. If we can't cheer them up quickly, their woe will plunge this whole place into despair. Where'd they go? The base Omicron. Okay. Audio input registers no whimpering in this vicinity. This unit can only conclude that Patron 003 and Patron 004 have utilized the portal to teleport to base Omicron. Curse their advanced technological comprehension born of generations of metalworking innovation. You're not anxiety-prone life form. The base Omicron perimeter is perpetually monitored by patrol units. This unit will transmit recorded data of customer service interactions to aid in detection of rogue patrons. Well then, what are you waiting for? Fugitive Grebulov data downloaded. Initializing pattern matching sequence. Setting confirmed. Last known location, territory between base Omicron and clouded portal. Target life forms were deemed annoying but non-threatening, warranting no interaction. Idle idling unit. Anomalous data detected in clouded portal transmission record. Time code suggests these unregistered life forms may be the Grebulovs you are looking for. These are not the Grebulovs we're looking for. Camera recordings confirm that Patron 003 ran screaming through base Omicron, followed closely by Patron 004. Did any patrol units provide additional data? Then there's a high probability that the clouded portal was the customer's point of egress. Why do their little legs run so fast, asking for a friend? At any rate, that portal leads to Ostrakhan Tria. Let us make for the abode of the Ia. At least there may be more eyewitnesses. For this AO unit, the rogue customers may be somewhere nearby. It is indeed the well-armored beings you speak of. They entered our abode crying for water. Incidentally, their crying produced water as well, which one must assume is why they were carrying on so. Regardless, we told them of the wellspring of regret. Perhaps it brings them spiritual comfort as we once found in our holy places, or perhaps they continue to weep even now. This unit would not venture to theorize, however projections do indicate that once the Grebulovs locate a water source, they will entrench there. Despite their sophistication, their nature subjects them to certain base instincts. If only they had stayed for tea. They must be awfully dehydrated by now. Come on. Fathomless deep. You followed us all the way out here. It is our responsibility as cafe managers, though we underestimated your determination and lung capacity, I must admit. Do you feel better now that you've seen the water? Query, is the imbecilic life form malfunctioning? This unit lacks many of the traits shared by organic races, but even so, the visual data could not be more conclusive. I shan't dignify that with a response, but how do you feel? So bad then? Yes, bad. We finally escaped those pointy, terrible machines, only to find this. We can't dive in this miserable little puddle. It's barely suitable for dipping. I don't want to be in this strange land. I want to go home, but we've lost so much. Did we finally lose our ocean too? I'm not certain I understand. Are oceans truly that superior to lakes? Our seas on the moon don't even have water most of the time. Ah, like an old Charlian, big and blue with a horizon all its own. This unit has never seen such a thing. Omicron protocol is to evaporate significant water sources that may be of use to enemy before landing. There are no oceans in Ultima Thule, that's for certain. Even so, there must be something here that brings back pleasant memories of the sea rather than depressing ones. You would know. What's unique about the ocean aside from all the water? Beach has a sort of smell. The salty sea breeze. In that case, perhaps we can harness the scent you recall to evoke memories of relaxing days at the shore. This unit acknowledges the potential of this course of action. Comparison of data from the dead ends and records on the Ragnarok shows significant similarities between the chemical compositions of the oceans of Aetheris and Grebulov's star. Sea smell it is. Once Zilly sniffs out a sufficiently ocean-scented ingredient, we'll sprinkle it on a delicious dish to raise our customers' spirits. Isolating odoriferous compounds and querying database. Chemical match found. Constituent amino acids of the legumes located at approximate coordinates 1314-2 will be useful in simulating the smell of your ocean. Similar amino acids are present in dragon scales. However, these are not so easily digested. Surely we can find some manner of dish to cook with that. Perhaps a soup? Unit suggests worrying about that after allied units reconvene at the last drags. In the meanwhile, protocol requires that management gently prod the customers until they regain their faculties. Okay. That was like right there. Oh, that's fine. Customer vital signs stabilized. Social acceptability of issuing dinner invitations restored to 100%. Ingredients confirmed. Loading recipe. Huzzah, it's time to get cooking. This salty, tangy, vaguely fishy aroma. How bittersweet it is. Astounding, it tastes just like the tide. Invigorating flavor as I've waded in and accidentally swallowed a lungful. Ah, such fond memories, even if they do sting a bit. We had many, many a good day, thanks to our beautiful sea. If I could go back to those times, I would treasure the blessings it gave us. I would keep it safe from harm. Incoming transmission from Stigma 4. Observational units report rapid changes to Elysion's landscape. All signs point to Grebulov influence. Really? Well, this bears seeing for ourselves. This unit fears for the cardiovascular system of the excitable life form and recommends not keeping it in suspense any longer. Level 80, longing so for all the fish. Complete. I have an ocean now. Oh, that's pretty. From From their profound love and appreciation, the Grebulov's ocean has been reborn. It will make a fine home for myriad aquatic creatures. There's yet much room for Elysion to grow and change. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? Maybe a bit smaller than the real thing, but it certainly smelled like an ocean to me. And did you see the happy looks on the Grebulov's helmeted little faces? This unit did see and appreciates allied units' assistance in fulfilling this objective. We have land, we have sea. One does not wonder what could possibly come next, not to mention what menu items it will inspire. More importantly, this mission is evolving. Analysis of statements made by the Grebulovs, as well as their overall demeanor, indicates that their memories originated just prior to the star's ultimate demise. Once reconstructed, the individuals initially remained in a state of deep despair over what had befallen their world and its seas in particular. By Operation Soup, however, Cafe management restored to them their will to carry on. These events have caused this unit to reevaluate the significance of the current mission. Mission significance and satisfaction with current orders are now rated as high. Yet this unit has unresolved queries. Metaphysically, this unit and other life forms in Ultima Thule are naught but simulations, memories reconstructed with Dynamis. Regardless of our actions, can these lives truly be categorized as meaningful? Not to cut your existential crisis short, Bolthead, but do we need to have data proving that you're as metaphysically significant as anyone else? Our customers affected the Dynamis of Elysion, and that's a fact. You lot may be a little different, but your feelings, your hopes, your dreams, those are real. So let's get out there and serve up some smiles, eh? We can't do it without you. Affirmative. Thank you, Jammingway. Travel quest complete. Last Drag's reputation up. Your reputation has increased to trusted. You have a trusted reputation with the staff and patrons of the Last Drags. New Omicron tribal daily quests are now available from Stigma 4 at A4 Research. Furthermore, you'll be able to undertake 3 additional quests from Stigma 4 as a reputation bonus. This bonus is available into the daily reset time for tribal quests. These additional quests will become available after accepting all current daily quests from Stigma 4. Please be advised that you cannot undertake these quests if you have no remaining allowances. Furthermore, you now have access to a wider selection of wares from Omicron in 0598. Achievement unlocked. Voices of a Distant Server 2. Level 80, and another question. N7000 would laud you for your service to the cafe. Greetings. This unit commands your fulfillment of objectives relating to the care and feeding of Grebulov customers. Pescatarian menu items in particular have met with high approval ratings. Current mission is proceeding as audio records indicate your people would say swimmingly, ha ha ha. We've learned much from the Corellians and Grebulovs, and the Last Dregs is now the site of joyful cultural exchange, but don't take our word for it, come and see. Travel to Last Dregs, yes. We should keep an eye on that one. They've already polished off 3 bowls of soup today. Well-fed Grebulovs provide important mission data. Soup-related sacrifices must be made. Oh, you like making customers happy, admit it. This unit merely acknowledges customer satisfaction as more conducive to mission objectives and mutual hostility. Speaking of which, Patron 005 and Patron 006 should be closely monitored. Try to change the subject on me, will you? Wait, who are Patron 005 and Patron 006? Hail, newcome patrons. I, Jammingway, would like to personally welcome you to the Last Dregs. Can you tell me about your home star? Analyzing metaphysical waveform. Nihilism protocols activated. Beep, beep, beep. It has shared in our truth and shed the self. This as well. The universe, too, is finite. Only in death may we embrace true infinity. Did you just assassinate my barista? Why would you do that? Situational analysis complete. New customers of the Nibiruun civilization. This society eliminated concepts deemed unpleasant by organic life forms such as war and death. In so doing, individuals attain physical immortality and a state of unified comprehension. Their projections were insufficient, however. The Nibiruun people only realized that the elimination of strife would similarly destroy their sources of joy when it was too late. At that point, they jointly decided it would be preferable to return to non-existence. Pardon this unit for a moment. Halting shutdown processes. Troubleshooter initialized. Repair features and self-determination algorithm restored. Why have you returned this being to the finite? The golden mercy of R'hllor was so close at hand. Sweet mother, this is terrifying. Cultural exchange be damned. We can't let them near the other patrons. On the contrary, this unit believes that exposure to other civilizations may benefit these customers and invites them to tour the local simulations of dead worlds. To be certain, the nature of other civilizations is a long-held curiosity of ours. It may be interesting to discuss their inherent futility. That is, the spirit. All societies in Ultimate Thule are subject to unique manifestations of despair, so this unit recommends comparing each to the tragic perfection of Nibiruun. We are in favor. To arrive at philosophical resonance with such beings will fill much time before blessed obliteration. What the hells? Hope you have a plan to prevent this place from falling to despair. Let's go with the hells. You have already demonstrated to the people of Ultimate Thule that despair can be overcome. Projections indicate that, once restored, hope is not so easily extinguished. So you think they'll be able to help each other like you saved M104 just now? Suppose I should be glad that they took you up on it. Those Nibiruun make my first stand on end. I don't want them anywhere near Elysian. It would be nice if we could cure them of their ennui, of course, but I cannot see how. Nibiruun of the last dead civilization with sufficient data for replication. Should it prove impossible to turn them into satisfied customers, the probability of further developments on Elysian is low. Ooh, that is frustrating. Why must they be so much scarier than the other two? I retract my complaints about our soup budget. Well, what if we invite patrons from another civilization instead? The Ia, for instance. There's no reason we have to build all of our own customers, and they seem rather thoughtful. At the very least, it would make good practice in philosophical debate. This unit cannot guarantee that any amount of practice would prepare you to treat with the Nibiruun. However, it agrees that inviting local life forms to the last dregs would be good for business. Current objective: convince prospective EA patrons of the desirability of last drag sustenance. We'll search for potential customers in this vicinity. Can you ask around at the Scary Stone Circle where everyone stares at the sky? Thanks in advance. venue for replenishment and discourse, you say. We once visited similar establishments. They are memorialized today through the existence of our restaurant, where we traditionalists gather to restore our ether and vent our petty miseries upon one another. Your civilization is young, so perhaps you do not yet understand that one such location is more than enough. Even the most transcendent minds can only withstand so much vacuous discourse. Are they going to out-nihilism each other? Corporeal beings derive meaning from patronizing this cafe, you say? Felicitations. Personally, I have long since parted from such material concerns in favor of staring contemplatively into the abyss. To begin chasing hopes and dreams now would be to betray my very principles. What is your report? One would think they could at least show a bit of respect to you of all people, out of self-preservation if naught else. The probability of further developments on Elysian is now infinitesimal. No, I refuse to give up. Their terrible attitudes are all the more reason to make them see the light. Between the three of us, we will get them to enjoy themselves. Implicit threat acknowledged, initializing joint operation protocols. However, this unit also must acknowledge the non-zero probability of failure. In such a scenario, the odds of ever securing the patronage of the Nibiruun must be revised to hopeless. Projections indicate that the business may not survive this outcome. You're as bad as they are sometimes, do you know that? Silly, you mentioned that the once offered you food, did you not? But they don't consider themselves beyond the concept of repast. There must be a way to build on that to make them understand. You interrupt my staring once again. Curious, is this a physical compulsion? No, we're simply seeking an enlightened opinion. You seem very focused, so surely none would be better suited to answer a few questions. I suppose that would be within the bounds of my principles, and as time is inherently meaningless, you will not cost me what might otherwise have mattered. Pray wait a moment, and I will see if other rationally minded individuals are interested in this diversion. Huzzah, I leave the debating to you. Zilly, see if you can stimulate their inquiring minds enough to draw them to the cafe. Objective, choose the appropriate phrases to generate interest in the last dregs. As the resulting pontification may take several minutes, you may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. Attempt to simulate the EI. Yes. Yes. Truly, there is naught like a rousing examination to take one's mind off ceaseless torment of existence. Should we start with 350,173 questions or so, as is customary? $350,000. I was thinking more in the neighborhood of 3. I see that in my cognitive agitation, I neglected to account for your base intellects. Carry on with your paltry queries, then. You have an interest in gustatory sensations. Do you enjoy a good meal? We long ago abandoned the pursuit of gustatory sensations, though we yet consume ether to sustain ourselves. We do not experience any particular sensation beyond the satiation of hunger. That is perfectly sufficient, though I am curious. You indicated that many beings gather to consume sustenance at your cafe. Do these beings experience gustatory sensations in unison? Does this not confuse and upset them? Quite the opposite. Taste is the key to customer satisfaction, and our customers are very satisfied, I assure you. Curiosity detected. This unit concludes that your question piqued their interest. The diminutive being suggests that gustatory sensations are a primary consideration for your establishment. Biologically, however, these are not more than a secondary mechanism to prevent primitive organisms from starving to death. Explain this contradiction. Biology is not the only determinant of a good life, you know. Perhaps to truly comprehend our argument requires tasting for yourselves. Perhaps it is conceivable that, having dispensed with our corporeal vessels, a prolonged absence of sensations experienced by way of the nervous system has limited our imaginations to a degree. Only we had possessed the forethought to record our gustatory perceptions for posterity, an unfortunate oversight to be certain. Yet not an insurmountable one. If you were to visit the last dregs, we could help you reclaim some of the knowledge that was lost. Enticement detected. This unit proposes following this conversational trajectory to its natural terminus. Though I acknowledge that there is some logic to your argument, we are perhaps at an impasse, given our form's lack of physicality. Nevertheless, I am curious to know what manner of taste you would present us with, had we gustatory organs. Best taste in all of Ultima Thule, nay, the universe. Taste of your former lives as corporeal beings, perhaps. That's what they're looking for, right? Indeed, it is rational to assume that as corporeal beings with unique gustatory organs, we too once found certain sensations particularly stimulating. If your cafe is capable of providing knowledge of such long-lost sensations, we would welcome the experience. If anyone can do it, we can. We served a variety of civilizations already, with great success, I might add. Operational success imminent. Allied units must remain engaging for critical final phase. If we get it wrong, we have to start over. Preparation of historically accurate sustenance will be no simple task, yet the hirsute being insists on accomplishing it. Is this compulsion intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? It is our deepest and most heartfelt desire to see hope restored to the universe. My journal does suggest that making you happy will help progress my current quest. Increases in customer satisfaction lead to positive changes in the nearby dynamis. How mathematically sound. I see now that this was all a game to you. That is fair enough, given my own reasons for participation, yet this behavior is quite unlike the primitive organic beings of our records. I grow increasingly uncertain of your ability to fulfill our desires. Will we have to start over? I wish to recreate the Ia's favorite flavors is extremely organic, I swear, primitive even. Though the Ia delight in logical argument, acknowledgement of their place as gears in an unfeeling machine of progress has distressed them. Analysis indicates their expectations of allied units have been dampened by this display of cold rationality. In any case, mission objective complete. Allied units' performance will be logged as capable. I missed the last one, but it still counted. Got enough of them, right? We see that you indeed had few questions. When may we partake in sensory experiences? Well, first we will need to prepare a full course for gustatory experimentation. Experimentation, you say? That sounds most agreeable. If this unit may suggest it, Zilly's flesh would make a suitable medium. I quite agree. No one has tasted more taste than the intrepid Zilly. Her palate is refined and her bravery unmatched. You'll be the perfect candidate to try any and all dishes we prepare. Then you need only scan and transmit the sensory perception data to the Ia's consciousness. It is unclear at present what their people may have eaten in their corporeal days, but we can begin by finding out what sort of taste they enjoy, then refine the recipe from there. Regardless, we shall need to fire up the ovens immediately. Last I checked our inventory, the kitchens are well stocked with vegetables, fish, and Charlian cookbooks. Probability that the EA's historical diet was identical to that of life forms of Aetheris is astronomically low. This unit proposes incorporating ingredients from other worlds as well. Scanning flavorsome category for ingredient data. Flora near the vitrified fort may contain content suitable for use as seasoning. Data indicates that organic life forms love seasoning. Don't hesitate to taste test in the field. Remaining allied units should proceed to the last dregs for recipe analysis. This unit will answer any further customer questions. Where's the vitrified fort? Down here. All right, almost. You have thus far asked 81,120 questions. This unit can feel the last remnant of its patience slipping. Timely rescue. Chemical composition of ingredients within expected parameters. Then let the experimentation begin. Not half bad, if I do say so myself. Dig in. Initializing progressive scan of gustatory inputs. Perfectly ordinary pasta, the seemingly innocuous hamburger, the vaguely terrifying fish. Does it matter? Or do we have to do them all? Was that fish staring into your soul just now? Hopefully not. In any case, its pallid flesh must have thoroughly absorbed the added alien flavor. You certainly tasted something. Seemingly innocuous hamburger. We eat it all if we can. Need the data. You are struck with a sudden certainty that Jammingway either borrowed or stole this recipe from The Last Stand. Although the locally sourced flavoring adds an unexpected spiciness to the medium rare meat inside, your tongue is now tingly. The pasta is not unlike that of Aetheris, although the otherworldly flavor adds a tang of complexity. As for the Ia, surely any gluten-tolerant life form enjoys a massive bowl of carbohydrates. Gustatory data received, transmitting to patron 007 and 008. So these are the flavors of which you speak. Thank you for helpfully categorizing each as sweet, salty, sour, bitter, or savory. I fear I am quite overcome by the medley. It is impossible to say whether this sensory assault is identical to what I might have once felt when consuming sustenance, yet it is useful reference to ruminate upon nevertheless. Then it was well worth the effort in my book. Tell me, did any of the dishes strike you as particularly enjoyable? First stimulated me in the most pleasing fashion. How was this flavor derived? That was flavored with local ingredients harvested by Zelly, garnished with powdered miracle shrimp, a type of crustacean in Grebulophs are farming in Elysian. Pulverized crustaceans, the nature of gustatory sensations is inscrutable indeed. That we found these ones pleasing perhaps indicates that we too once consumed mutilated decapods. I cannot imagine why we would have left that behind. I am grateful to have even simulated the experience. And there we have it. Do you think this will be enough to bring about more changes to Elysian? Inconclusive, this unit proposes that allied units ascend to scan for signs of change. Or is it going to be like this? They were like what the Ia looked like before. Sigma 4 confirms that alterations have occurred. Let us proceed with the scan. Level 80 and another question complete. These creatures certainly weren't here before, but what are they? They put me in mind of Aetheris' jellyfish. No results found in database. Furthermore, these life forms differ from the simulations in Ultima Thule on a molecular level. You mean a new species has been born here? Is it so illogical? Elysian's climate is suitable for the growth of complex vegetation, and a significant portion of its surface is occupied by sea. Many life forms have arisen from similar environments. This unit would venture that under these conditions, the E is yearning for a corporeal past were sufficient to cause Dynamis to coalesce as organic life. That's incredible. New life. Me, verbal. And such a very adorable life you are. Yes, you are. Like unto newborn babes, or so I assume, eons have passed since we have held a child. Yet it is not conceivable that some part of us remembers if these creatures arose from our fondness for the past. They may indeed be the nascent forms mentioned in our ancient records. I do see a certain resemblance. Would you like to give these little ones a name, then? We lost the meaning to our names long ago, leaving us only the simple phonemic system we now employ for individuals. The suggestion that we might impart the significance of these children via nomenclature is depressingly ludicrous. Nevertheless, we shall call them Milmeeves. Peculiar name to share, perhaps, but one we may find the meaning in together. I cannot spell that to save my life, but it sounds lovely. I should like to remain with the Milweaves for a time. They doubtless know much of gustatory sensation and other such facets of corporeality. In serving as their guardians, we may yet reclaim some of what was lost. New life has arisen for me as longing. Nurture and protect the Milweaves, for they must have much to share. There is yet room for Elysian to grow and change. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? It will be a great deal more difficult to focus with those creatures about. They're so wibbly-wobbly. This unit requests you contain yourself. Energy levels are already low due to patrons' ceaseless querying. However, this unit does admit to curiosity regarding the new life forms. Though it is probable that the Milweaves share data with Ia's genetic memory, possibilities for their development are infinite. This differentiates them from other dynamic-based life forms. Or maybe they're just one more indication that you lot aren't doomed after all. This place was built for endings, it's true, but we have seen many a beginning. Let's keep that trend going, shall we? Affirmative. Our mission remains one constant among many variables. Travel quest complete. The last dregs, reputation up. Your reputation has increased to respected. You have achieved respected reputation with the staff and patrons of the last dregs. 2 Omicron tribal daily quests are now available from Stigma 4 at A4 Research. Furthermore, you will be able to undertake 3 additional quests from Stigma 4 as a reputation bonus. This bonus is available until the daily reset time for tribal quests. These additional quests will become available after accepting all current daily quests from Stigma 4. Please be advised you cannot undertake these quests if you have no remaining allowances. Furthermore, you now have access to a selection of wares from Omicron in 0598. Level 80, the Restaurateur's Guide to the Dragon Star. Last Dregs management will discuss the further development of your business plan. Milmiv's status thriving. According to the recent scans, Ia also emit pleased vibrations. They aren't the only ones. Members of quite a few civilizations have been enjoying watching the Milmiv's frolic. The customer satisfaction has risen accordingly. That noted, it is just about time for our regular rounds at the cafe. Care to join? To the last drag. As you can see, the Last Dregs is now patronized by entities of all ages, and we have expanded our beverage range to accommodate both the young and the very, very old accordingly. Now that the Mid-Evans and Ia have settled in, the timing to introduce new patrons is optimal. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking the same. We've had such good luck with the Ia, it only seems natural that we invite the dragons next. They too are residents of Ultimate Toll, after all. Shall this unit scan your cranial cavern for irregularities? We Omicrons are the dragon's mortal enemies. They would not willingly break bread or any other substance with us. Projections indicate they may be traumatized by the very suggestion. Are you worried about them? How endearing. Yes, if Ultimate Thule is to move forward, its people cannot remain mired in the conflicts of the past. It would befoul the Dynamis, for one thing, and bugger up our hard work. You must learn to live in harmony. Acknowledge, but this unit will excuse itself from promotional efforts. The probability of the Dragon Star's life forms reacting adversely to Omicron presence in their territory exceeds acceptable parameters. Parameters. It may be risky, but if the dragons are to believe that the Omicrons have turned over a new leaf, I can think of no better ambassador. May not be able to rewind time and unconquer the Dragon Star, but you can certainly strive to do better in the future we're creating. Dynamis makes the impossible possible. You said so yourself. Encouragement tentatively internalized. This unit will attempt to serve as an ambassador for peace. And it is off to Reatara we go. This unit has detected an additional hurdle to fulfilling the current objective. Excuse me, can I interest you in anything? Anything at all? Hello, ignoring me won't make me go away. I wondered how a tuft of floss did come to clamor so, but 'tis no more than one of thy strange companions. This explaineth much. Wilt thou not leave me to my slumber? So long have I been weary. We have just the thing for that. Coffee, delectable cuisine as well. Why not stop by the last dregs and see what the civilizations of Ultima Thule are raving about? Realize that you may have complicated feelings about my Omicron friend here, but we would nevertheless offer you a place to eat, drink, and be merry. Art thou attempting to provoke me? Though I suppose it matters not. Neither grief nor hate stir within me, for my flame hath long since flickered and died. News that you do not wish to inflict vengeful obliteration upon the Alphatron star should be welcome. However, this unit finds it unexpectedly difficult to process. You certain you do not desire revenge, not even a micron? It may be advisable to gnaw on this unit in the name of experimentation, lest your conclusion be premature. To what end? The destruction of a single machine changeth naught, meaneth naught. Aye, we dragons once reveled as thou wouldst have me do. In the mountain shadow did we gather to sing, yet even our melodies are naught but memory now. I no longer weep for the silence machine. Why dost thou believe I have aught to spare for thee? Conversational difficulty levels critical. This unit requests permission to retreat. Not so fast. The Corellians' apocalyptic aggression didn't stop us, and neither will this dragon's depression. All of our patrons have needed a little help in learning to hope again. It's just a matter of discerning what they value and how to provide it. Fortunately, we have the great Zilly at our side. I've heard tell that you have no little experience treating with dragons. And though the dragons here may not recall their passions, if the Dragonsong War is any indication, their brethren on Aetheris possess no such problem. Surely there is at least one dragon of your acquaintance with whom we can consult. Vitra will explain in terms we can understand. Vidofnir is wise and has been kind to me. I think Vitra's busy. Look, Vitra. Not able to make us choose the next one. Vitra, satrap of Razatan? Oh no, I wouldn't dream of calling him away from his work for this. Vidofnir it is. Then, as a leader of her people and an arbiter of peace, she must have some advice about disagreeable dragons. And she doesn't sound like the sort to let her elders on the Dragon Star wallow for eternity. Theris's historical records are not registered to this unit's database, but the proposed course sounds logical as described. It is statistically probable that they will not welcome assistance from a former enemy, but this unit believes that we must restore hope to dragonkind. And it's decided, do we need to pack chassis wax or anything? This unit must remain in Ultima Thule and ensure the smooth operation of the last dregs while allied life forms are away. However, a portable communications drone can be dispatched for the journey. How convenient. Let us make for Annex Trine post haste. Ooh, since that lush vegetation path. Dost thou ever rest, little one? Thou hast brought salvation to the star, yet thy countenance bespeaks a mission. The will of the star hath blessed thee with charming companions. Yet to think I should meet one of the machines that drove my grandsire from the Dragon Star, 'tis like unto a bedtime fable. Fear not, for I shall not rebuke thee. Thou wouldst not be the first to call an old foe friend. 'Tis the fate of the dragons that concerneth me. To condemn them to an empty existence forevermore would be cruel indeed. This unit did not expect to find you so pleasant, alive. It is difficult to locate the proper lexical data. Hemingway shared much data about the dragons of Aetheris during the journey, but this unit struggles to process that those who embrace an ageless existence upon this star are of the same species as the life forms we encountered in Ultima Thule. Your dragons too face countless battles and great suffering, yet they emerged whole. This unit wonders how much can be attributed to faith in their allied units and how much to the resilience of their hope, or if these two variables are one and the same. Which brings us back to our purpose here. Is there anything we can say to the dragons of Ultima Thule that might open their hearts to embrace hope once more? My sire Race Valgar oft spoke of Midgard Stormer's tales of the Dragon Star, for from these memories was our Sawmile born. It is mine understanding that the Dragon Star possessed a sacred peak resplendent, and 'twas my grandsire's longing for its heights that drew him to nest upon Aetheris. Mine ancestors doubtless felt its loss as keenly, yet their despair hath given way to exhaustion. The memory 'tis but a dull ache in their hearts. Restore to them memory untainted by bitterness, and they may yet be inspired as my grandsire once was. Words, however, shall not suffice. Not words, what about taste? We've managed to evoke joyful recollections via soup before. Surely we can do the same for the dragons. Previous customer data supports this hypothesis. However, dragons do not possess a culinary tradition as such. As with the Grebulos, we must think outside standard parameters. Oh, I believe I have precisely what we need. Among the recipes provided to us by our Charlian collaborators is one from Ishgard, a dessert resembling Sawmile. If that's not outside standard parameters, I don't know what is. Curious proposal, but thou art welcome to attempt it. My grandsire once spoke of the pale blossoms northeast of Anix Shrine as like unto those of the Dragon Star's valleys. Collect them with my blessing. Sounds like we shall be gazing upon a resplendent and edible peak in no time. Tuna requests that you return to the last dregs before initiating baking protocols. The utility of this drone's tiny digits is limited. Right there. Mm-hmm. Got our blossom. Where is he? He's at the thing yet. Last Briggs. Drone battery low. This unit has returned it to the charging station despite jamming waste protest. Ingredients consistent with Dragonstar environmental records. Please initiate baking protocols. Consider them initiated. Dessert is a go. Remember, machine, 'tis only at the purported request of my kin across the expanse that I humor thee. Do not test my patience overlong. We wouldn't dream of it. Now, if you'll come this way. The tiny hands wrought this for my sake? Yes, Zilly's less tiny hands and the N7000 spinny watts it's also helped. We worked hard to make it as much like the holy peak of the Dragonstar as possible. Do you like it? It is difficult to say. My palate recalleth not what flavors once appealed. Visually, however, I see it, the peaks dividing the Dragonstar in twain, bright clouds to shroud them. Feel the wind upon my scales, and I remember. Passing strange place this, yet for the newfound bond with my distant kin and these memories gifted unto me, I am grateful. Gesture hath touched me, of that be certain. Do you feel a bit better now? It's all right to miss home, everyone does, sometimes. Indeed, how beautiful it was, our Dragonstar, how joyfully its winds did brace our wings. I should like my kin to remember those days, no longer to mourn them, but dream of them once more. This unit is pleased to hear of your spiritual revival. However, it would be remiss of this unit not to remind you that our establishment employs a large Omicron staff. Your kin would be most welcome to join you, but would this not be intolerable to them? Metal warrior, thou art not the same as thou once were, no more are we. I know not what to make of this future, but I would linger no longer in the past. That is why you created this place, is it not? Logic circuits complete, threat level nominal, business status booming. However, this unit is experiencing an anomalous overflow, conditions mathematically insufficient to generate current levels of mission satisfaction. Further analysis required, initiating additional processors. Are you sure you aren't just happy, you know, like a squishy-wishy organic life form? A logical life form such as yourself could not begin to understand this unit's internal workings. Terminating interaction. Goodbye. Don't you dare go into sleep mode, coward. We cannot let N7000's emotional dysfunction detract from our success. To Elysian, we'll drag it there if we must. Please refrain from vibrating your vocal organs. This unit will continue processing anomalous satisfaction levels once Elysian status has been verified. Level 80, the Restaurateur's Guide to Dragonstar, complete. I do hope that winds bless yonder peak. Inspiration has touched the dragon's hearts and given form to a nostalgic vista from the Dragonstar. Yet still there is room for Elysian to grow and change. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? What a majestic sight that was, and so pointy. Harmony between dragons and Omicrons defies any and all prior projections. A rousing success, then. Given historical events, it should not be possible per the laws of the universe. Only in Ultima Thule could such a thing occur. In that case, I'd better not hear you question our potential ever again. This is a definitive proof that we can do anything if we put our minds to it, no matter what your projections say. I was created by someone too, you know, but I don't believe that being artificial makes our experiences any less worthwhile. We're here and we're making a difference. Have a little faith. That's what living is all about. The unit did not realize that you were plagued by similar existential doubts, though it does explain your desire to pry into psyches that you do not understand. Nevertheless, this unit will produce noises of generalized validation. Well, good. We've created a miracle here today, as well as new bonds between dragonkind that span time and space. I propose we bask in the glory for a while. Travel quest complete. Last Drag's reputation up. Your reputation has increased to honored. You have achieved honored reputation with the staff and patrons of the Last Drags. The new Omicron Travel Daily Quest is now available from Stigma 4 at A4 Research. Furthermore, you will be able to undertake 3 additional quests from Stigma 4 as a reputation bonus. Bonus is available today in a daily reset time for travel quests. These additional quests will become available after accepting all current daily quests from Stigma 4. Please be advised that you cannot undertake these quests if you have no remaining allowances. Furthermore, you now have access to a wider selection of wares from Omicron N0598. Yay. Level 80, mostly heartless. It is possible that your projections regarding the consequences of the current mission were insufficient. Reports from behind the counter indicate that dragons have achieved social integration with other customers. This is ideal. Have you seen them in Elysian? They're flying again. Goodness, I'm so happy we could help. In my eye, it looks as if we're at least as popular as The Last Stand now, albeit with a more diverse clientele. I'll let you be the judge of that, though. Shift protocols engaged. I love the smell of carrot coffee in the eternal twilight, and look at all the contented customers enjoying our cuisine. 'Tis more than I could have ever imagined when I proposed this idea. This unit is struggling to generate areas for improvement. Are all cafe objectives now complete? I suppose you could say that, though it is a strange way to view one's accomplishments. Why do you ask? In accordance with the directive to all Alphatron registered units to live, this unit's mission is to assist fallen civilizations in reclaiming lost hope through simulation, soup, or other means as necessary. It appears this has been accomplished. If so, then this unit must complete its performance evaluation immediately. Performance evaluation? That sounds dreadfully dull. Rather, yes. Nevertheless, this unit must adhere to standard operating protocol and analyze the results of our cultural preservation efforts. Evaluation results will determine whether this unit may continue to embrace the familiar inertia of the current mission. If all potential objectives have been fulfilled, it will once again consign itself to hibernation. Allied units may wish to know that interim evaluations indicate the latter result is likely. This unit has collected more than sufficient data proving that with the appropriate stimulation, even despairing life forms may once again hope. No further research on this subject is required. Logically speaking, to continue along with the current trajectory would be a waste of energy. Oh, you really are. You are really fluffing my fur right now. It's like you weren't even listening to my lectures. Plural. We're finally at the point where we can operate this cafe without one civilization or another reinventing the apocalypse. And you want to kick the bucket? Come a little closer. I'll kick it for you. This unit gently reminds the screeching life form that Omicron decision-making algorithms do not prioritize emotion. Now they should. This mission has never been about experimental data, and you know it. Waste of energy, my furry arse. Our feelings matter to the Dynamists, they matter to the universe, so why don't they matter to you? This unit does not know what to tell you. Fine, be that way, see if I care. This unit will proceed to base Omicron to back up unit data before shutdown protocols initialize. Additional personnel changes may follow, but Sigma 4 will minimize disruption to the cafe operation. This unit acknowledges the non-zero possibility that it may return, but at least for the moment, it leaves the last dregs in your capable appendages. Farewell. Do you want to go after it? Have we moved past the anger stage yet? I don't know. Oh, this is horrible. Can't let N7000 enter permanent hibernation. What will the cafe do without it? What will I do? Alright, I'm calm. Now, how do we stop it? Even if we can catch up to it before it reaches base Omicron, I doubt it will want to speak to me after my outburst. You go alone, then I'll take the time to gather my thoughts. Where? Oh, it's over here. Teleport, damn it. Idle idling unit. Request for personal data acknowledged. Scanning recent automatic transmissions of internal processing logs. Unit N7000 accessed the logical process records of SIR and has been engaging in analysis and projection related to the same. The operational protocol governing these peculiar actions cannot be determined at this time. This unit wishes you pleasant speculation. Request for location data acknowledged. Searching base Omicron monitoring logs. Sensors detected in 7000's progress toward the fallow portal. Calculations indicate that it will have proceeded past the empty portal towards the limits of Ostracon Decahexi by the time code at which the organic life form can catch up. Where the hell is it? Okay. The signals of an allied unit are not unwelcome, but why did you follow this unit here, Zilly? Well, you made several concerning comments. Why did you come here? This unit has been analyzing logs originating from M017, alias Stigma 1, alias Sir, for some time now. This unit M017 has repeatedly paid visit to the Tree of Life to analyze internal projections. The impetus for these actions was logged as personal reasons. In other words, when its protocols were insufficient, M017 came here to ponder its next course of action. This unit had hoped that the tree might provide data of use in its current dilemma. No such data has been forthcoming. In retrospect, there is a non-zero possibility that M017 did not find what it was looking for here either. This unit cannot conceptualize actions outside of its original programming that might lead to its desired conclusion. All simulations of upcoming performance evaluation end in shutdown. Precise value of a future in which this unit carries on operating the cafe in service of our myriad patrons remains unknown and thus cannot be mathematically comparable to that of a successful evaluation. Nevertheless, this unit's preference remains constant. Does this preference, then, constitute a logical fallacy that must be discarded and conclusive? As a military information and operations specialist, this vacillation is most distressing. Further review of the objective reality of the cafe has restored hope to multiple once-fallen civilizations is not helping. Paradoxically, it appears this make this unit's memory overflow even worse. Why not listen to your heart rather than your calculations for once? Yes, happiness will do that. Organic life forms pursue greater levels of happiness regardless of utility or lack thereof. However, as a mechanical life form, it is categorically impossible for this unit to experience emotions outside of predetermined programming, unless allied units were correct, and this unit is truly not the same unit it once was. If all life forms reborn in Ultima Thule, including this unit, possess infinite potential in a mathematical sense. Generating new projections. Multi-sim mode initialized. Shutting down auxiliary functions and overclocking processors. This unit is processing. Warning, processing load critical. Cannot accept additional inputs. Failure to step away from the unit may result in severe burns. Though its state is worrisome, it seems that you will be unable to interrupt N7000's processing queue at present. Perhaps you should bring Jammingway along to kick its bucket. He's at the last drags. All of this worrying is exhausting, not to mention the yelling. Apologies for that, by the by. Did you find N7000? Is it alright? I recall seeing this Sir in the logs. It did seem to have individualistic tendencies now that you mention it. You would know its personal reasons better than I, of course, but it would not be the first nor the last to agonize over its existence. The choice to live is not made just the once, after all. No, I don't think it's a leap or even a bunny hop to assume that M017 struggled with much the same questions of purpose and potential that plagued N7000. Omicrons have very little experience with the self-doubt that comes from facing an indeterminate future. Very little experience with emotions in general, really. Does it not bother you that we've seen no changes to Elysion that could be attributed to N7000 and the other staff? Dynamis reacted to my very first burst of hope and has reliably taken form for every civilization, but not them. Or Omicrons do have emotions, of that I'm certain. Hope for the future, specifically. Precisely. Should our N7000 then not have the power to shape Dynamis in spades? Look how successful it's been. Personally, I believe it does have that power, but every time it feels a little something, it shoves that emotion away under a pile of numbers and refuses to think about it ever again. It needs to allow itself to feel that joy, that hope, for it to grow and blossom in Elysian. None of this waste of energy for time to die, bollocks. Honestly, does it ever think about anyone else? Mark my words, I'm going to gather every scrap of joy we've created here and shove them right down its stupid throat. We need to be quick if we want to prepare before N7000 finishes processing and finds a way to infuriate me even more. We're certainly not allowing it to shuffle off its metal coil today or ever. First, though, we'll need to choose a recipe, one guaranteed to remind it of what we've accomplished here at the Last Dregs, and give it a taste of the boundless happiness yet to come. Certain Stigma 4 can dig something out of its database that can represent our culinary achievements without proving an electrocution hazard. Wait just a moment. Here we are. Testers disengaged. N7000 not detected. Awaiting promised explanation. It's quite a long story. Circumstances acknowledged. N7000 logs transmitted to central database confirm the accuracy of managerial report. Conclusion reached that by N7000 also confirmed accurate. Operational protocols are absolute. Completion of mission necessitates permanent hibernation. I don't think I'll ever understand your culture's obsession with productivity. However, running into multi-sim mode for prolonged periods poses unacceptable risk to hardware. Immediate intervention recommended. Aha, not quite the sympathetic response I was looking for, but it'll do. As for your intervention, I propose the presentation of delicious dish that will bring N7000 back to its senses. What do you think it would like? Invalid input. Preferences are irrelevant to mechanical life forms. What N7000 requires is refrigerant liquid. Cooling beverage, then. I think we can manage that. Can you search your database for local ingredients we might use? N7000 always seemed to know what it was doing, so I've never bothered learning where anything is. Auxiliary information evaluated. Nevertheless, request acknowledged. Scanning database. King. Gaseous matter suitable for condensation and subsequent ingestion contained in ovular ore samples in Ostracantria. Approximate coordinates 30, 9.5, 2.5. Wonderful. You're a natural at this. Managerial praise is unnecessary. Scanning the database is well within standard operational protocols. Production of vital liquids such as refrigerants and oils is also standard protocol for logistic matrix. However, cafe operations have repeatedly demonstrated that standard chemical formulae are insufficient impetus for alteration of dynamis. That is where cafe management must intervene. Allied Unit N7000 is depending on you. Do not fail. Don't you worry, Stigma 4. We would never let our allied units down. I leave the procurement of the primary ingredient to you. In the meantime, I'll see what else might be mechanically digestible around here. N7000 coordinates confirmed. Subject remains immobile. Retrieval unit will be dispatched to Ostracon Decahexy momentarily. All right. And like get it drunk. The cool, tasty beverage. The Omicron equivalent of beer. Methane eggs. Okay. I dare say Stigma 4 will be dragging in 7,000 back here any moment now. Did you find the gassy what's-its? Missions ahoy, now we just need to condense this, perhaps shake it up with some other bits and bobs for the proper cocktail experience. Emergency override command prompt, exec chug.command. Yep. Beep, beverage protocols initiated. Please wait. Flash dregs. This unit would like to register its confusion. You miserable sack of sockets, bold head, weird looking fork, I'll kick your bucket into the next galaxy, you. Ah yes, this unit remembers now. Dialogue with the screeching life form had reached an impasse, so it withdrew to organize its thought processes in peace. The unit became trapped in a processing loop and overheated, but temperatures are now nominal, as your civilization would say. Woo! So you're feeling better. That's the best news I've heard all day, no thanks to you. This unit's circuits are still somewhat muddled, reviewing event log for flags associated with mission to live. Results of recalculated projections located. Proceeding to Elysian to confirm. You could at least explain yourself. Sounds like it's expecting some changes to the Dynamis. What sort? I have no idea after it. Elysian. Stigma 4's logs confirm that N7000 came this way. Make haste. Level 80, mostly heartless. Complete. Forrest, did N7000 do this? Ahem, you owe us a very thorough report. Affirmative. As you may have detected, since the birth of Elysian, this unit's self-determination algorithm has been in conflict with its core protocols. This issue has been surpassingly difficult to resolve. The cooling solution that you made, however, enabled this unit to arrive at a conclusion. It is confident in the result of its performance evaluation. First, a thought experiment for allied units. How has this unit transformed the landscape of Elysian despite its nature as a replicated mechanical life form? Your nature doesn't matter. Here, now, you are alive. This future was always possible. Now you've made it real. Through strength of heart, I'd say. Future in which the Metal Warriors came to love the forest of a distant star. It is a bittersweet possibility, but holds a beauty all its own. Thank you. This unit will keep your words close to its heart. In the history of the universe, countless possibilities have gone unfulfilled, but it is an error to thus consign them to the realm of impossible. All the Dynamis requires is that we ask, what if? While sentient life forms remain to ask that question, to dream of unrealized futures, this unit cannot agree with the EA's conclusion that the end of the universe is inevitable. Our data proves that miracles happen. Took you long enough. Honestly, you gave me quite a fright with that shutdown nonsense. Interesting. Would you miss this unit if it were going jamming way? Requesting acknowledgement of warm and fuzzy feelings? Never in a billion years, Bolt Brain. Denied, denied, denied. In any case, this unit recognizes the role of Alphatron's star played in cutting the futures of many civilizations short. Together with allied managers, the Omicrons have restored hope to some such civilizations and assisted in developing Elysian to its current state. The star now teems with life, some of it newly born. Calculations may say that this is insufficient to fulfill this unit's mission, but this unit disagrees. But we have accomplished thus far a significant step toward a new future for the Omicrons, but not the last. This unit believes in infinite possibilities beyond the projection capabilities of even Stigma 4. Alongside our allies at the Last Dregs, we must continue to make them real. We shall atone, and we shall live. Worthy purpose, if you ask me, which you ought to do given that I'm still your business partner. Gladly acknowledged, Hemingway. Come to think of it, we've never toasted our achievements or shared a drink at all. What kind of cafe managers are we? I brought some refrigerant cocktail along with my normal supplies in case someone needed another wake-up call. What do you say we have a picnic? Last Drag specialty carrot juice for us, of course. I'd never go anywhere without it. You know, when I proposed this idea, I was thinking of the cafes on Aetheris, how the people inside smiled, laughed, and spoke of tomorrow. We've been focused on providing our customers the same experience, naturally, but that's also what the Last Dregs is to us, isn't it? Affirmative, this unit would go so far as to assert that spending time with friends in this fashion is meaningful. The sense of satisfaction is what organic life forms persistently term happiness, is it not? That was the best carrot juice I've had in my whole operate life. That raises several questions, but this unit will restrain itself in favor of thanking Zilly once again for her assistance in its time of need. This unit apologized for burdening you with additional shifts. I note that you have yet to apologize to me for the distress you've caused. This unit has been distressed numerous times due to unwarranted screeching from the hyperbole-prone life form and thus considers us even. Here, see if I save your sorry scrap metal ever again. Additionally, this unit would prefer that, as business partners, we provide mutual assistance as a matter of course. That is what organic life forms mean by partnerships, is it not? So long as you hold up your part of the bargain, we're going to keep the Last Dregs open until the very end of the universe. And beyond, no universe is ending on our watch. Society quest complete. Last Dregs, reputation up. Your reputation has increased to Sworn. You've achieved Sworn reputation with the staff and patrons of the Last Dregs. You will receive an experience point bonus upon the completion of Last Dregs Society Daily Quest. Furthermore, you now have access to a wider selection of wares from Omicron N0598. Even unlocked, fully caffeinated. Level 80. Life, the universe, and coffee beans. You have the strangest feeling that you've forgotten something, or someone. Precisely 86,400,000 time codes have passed since our latest brewing incident. A new record. This unit's mission satisfaction could not be higher. I don't know about you, but I think we deserve a break. Care to join us for a tall glass of carrot juice? Carrot coffee is also an option, though I would hate to risk our safety record. Unit notes that carrots are still disproportionately represented on the menu, but accepts your invitation. Now that's impossible. Last dregs. The last dreg certainly has come a long way. Remember when the counter was dusty and musty? Still don't know what civilization originally built these structures, but I like to think they'd be happy to see what we've done with the place. Perhaps they ran a cafe of their own long ago. Actually, while you're here, can I trouble you to check in with the patrons? As you well know, customer satisfaction is our first priority, and they wouldn't dare fob you off with a platitude. This place, I love it here. It reminds me of home almost as much as the sea on Elysian. Such a pristine sea it is. Each time I devour delicious fish, I reaffirm my vow to protect it. One serving of the fish, please. So long, and thanks for all the fish. It's been quite some time since I began cooperating with this lout, hasn't it? Though I can scarce believe it myself. We are allies now. Some even call us friends, to which I take offense, of course. Perish the thought. But as if you don't wander over to my side of the garden half a dozen times per shift to raise your suggestions, perhaps people would possess a more accurate conception of our relationship if you did not so clearly crave my insight. Still, I've come to believe that anyone who enjoys the last dregs as much as I do cannot be all bad, even if he has poor taste in helmets. Yes, the transmission of other beings' gustatory perception has been most effective. I believe I should like to experience haptic transmissions next. These burns to the tongue reported by the beings that consume coffee rapidly sound intriguing. Why do you hasten so? There are yet many gustatory sensations we must experience. The Corellians and Grebulov's perceptions were illuminating. The atmosphere, too, is quite enjoyable, though the other beings are naturally unequipped to discuss the finer mysteries of the universe. The idle chatter pleases me. In fact, I've scarcely rebuked anyone at all. Consideration is appreciated, hero. For me, 'tis enough to gaze upon the tiny dessert and feel the wind of my scales. Indeed, the true winds of Elysian are divine, yet I find myself drawn to the pastry nonetheless. Sentiment by which thou didst create, it warmeth my heart even now. Allow this unit to thank you in the perpetually anxious life form its stead. Your data collection is appreciated. I am not perpetually anxious. This is normal amount of concern. But yes, thank you. How did you find our customers? Thank goodness they're still enjoying themselves. I would hate to play host to any more firefights or fistfights or food fights. Data from Barista Unit M104 indicates that patron numbers are only increasing. Business future secure. This unit personally wishes us to seek out even more civilizations' data. Nevertheless, much of the universe remains to be restored to life and hope. Incoming transmission from Stigma 4. New life? Allied units. There is new life on Elysian. Scans indicate more than one additional life form. Oh, don't bore us with the logs. If it's worth scanning, it's worth seeing. For research. This unit will not spoil any further revelations. Let us proceed. Level 80. Life, the universe, and coffee beans. Complete. Sweet mother, Stigma 4 wasn't kidding. Not that it can. Look over there. Heck, what are you doing here? As your companion suggested, we have traversed the dead worlds of Ultima Thule. We have seen its despair. We have seen the tragedy of the forgotten and the sorrow of those who forget themselves. This as well. Yet this star is different. There is life here. There is change. This unit understands that this is difficult for you to accept. The mission to live is no simple matter. Then why do you gasp for life in a universe that will one day die? Why seek to change that which cannot be changed? This unit hopes you will not take this as a personal attack, but it would assert that a broad perspective is required. It's true that each civilization is vulnerable. A single particle of despair, placed in the right code, the right body, the right mind, can spread like a virus. Yet there is more than one civilization in this universe. The disease that kills one spares another. The sorrow that consumes one drives others to seek joy. Together we survive. Together we see beyond our limitations, and together we find reason to hope. So long as we live, and so long as we have even one reason to hope, the dynamis will change for us. Beyond our despair lies an infinitude of miracles. We need only open our receptors to them. We obtain physical life, eternal and complete mental resonance to determine that existence is meaningless. Despite all of that, you say we were wrong? Please refrain from leaping to conclusions. Whether the inherent meaning of life or lack thereof can be proven by the existence of miracles remains up for debate. We have grappled with such questions since time immemorial. You are welcome to join us for further discussion and gustatory stimulation at the cafe before deciding that your civilization was replete with buffoons. As long as you keep the doom and gloom confined to your conversation with mentally unflappable beings, that should be fine, and who knows, a nice cup of coffee might cheer you up a bit. This unit can vouch for the utility of our beverages in processing philosophical conundrums. That too, perhaps they'll even find something new to ponder. It's the little things, as they say. It'll be time enough for all civilizations to find hope for the future, given the proposed eternal opening schedule. This unit has set reminders to look out for the end of the universe in case additional menu items are required. That's what I like to hear. Less fatalism, more carrots of happiness. We'll have to explore the New Elysian when we have a bit more time. These developments are pleasing, but whence did they originate? Changes occurred soon after Zilly asked our customers to reflect on their experience as the cafe, no? Perhaps realizing how happy they are increased their faith in a brighter future. Perhaps even the Nibiruun were moved by the sight of a world that had not fallen to despair. In any case, the value of our mission is clear. You bet it is. It's so nice to not have to do all of the emotional lifting around here anymore. Do come back and join us from time to time. We'll be here forever. Affirmative, your labor has been greatly valued. We would be delighted to assign you shifts at any time. This unit jest, your friendship is also valued. Should you ever need a place to process, you are welcome. You are always welcome for the beverage of indeterminate nature at the last dregs. Society quest complete. Flash Drag's reputation up. Your reputation has increased to Bloodsworn. You have achieved Bloodsworn reputation with the staff and patrons of the Lash Drags. You will receive an experience point bonus upon the completion of Lash Drag Society daily quest.